is 1969. It's the age of Aquarius, the time of the hippies, the year of peace, music, and love at Woodstock, and the year after the off-Broadway musical Hair opened. Tom Wolfe published The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, The Beatles, Big Brother, and The Holding Company, The Doors, and Joni Mitchell were at the top of the charts. We were stardust, we were golden, and we had to get ourselves back to the garden. Was it any wonder that this next episode of Star Trek, broadcast in early 1969, was about a group of intergalactic hippies who were trying to do just that? The garden in this story is a planet called Eden, and the hippies are led by a Dr. Severin who bears more than a little resemblance to someone named Dr. Timothy Leary. Now, the way to Eden.
I'm talking about you.
I wasn't a hippie. I was a little square.
I'm talking about me.
I just thought it really was sort of a silly episode.
I didn't like that one particularly. Anytime they try to bring too much of the culture of this time into the future, like hippies and stuff, it doesn't wash.
What makes you so sympathetic toward them?
It is not sympathy so much as curiosity. They regard themselves as aliens in their own worlds.
Stepping into Eden. Yay, brother.
Oh, that was kind of dippy.
We all won. It was over top.
Head now to Eden.
Yay, brother.
Yay, brother.
Yay, brother.
Yay.
It's horrible.
I found this in Gunner room. Gunner mirror me.
What is it?
Well, it's green. I don't know why a young mind has to be an undisciplined one. Troublemakers.
The hippie one. I can't even remember the name. That's why it's my least favorite.
Herbert.
What is Herbert?
It is somewhat uncomplimentary, Captain. Herbert was a minor official, notorious for his rigid and limited patterns of thought.
The Way to Eden was my least favorite show because it was nothing. Okay?
In reading the script, Walter Koenig noticed that his Chekhov character had become inflexible. A conservative type A personality. He was not quite different than how he was originally created. He was light years away from the type of person that young people of 1969 could relate to. Spock, on the other hand, dons a Jimi Hendrix personae and prefers to hang out with a bunch of space hippies rather than his Enterprise cohorts. He must have found something appealing about the freewheeling hippie life.
Excuse me, is Irina Galiulin with you?
She's getting her physical. Gonna crack my knuckles and jump for joy. I got a clean bill of health from Dr. McCoy.
Well, the episode was called The Way to Eden, and actually, I don't mean to sound contrary, but I was really disappointed in that episode.
How could you do this to yourself? You were a scientist, and now, look at you.
Look at yourself, Pavel.
It did indeed feature Chekhov in a kind of a positive, favorable way, and involved him in a love story. But it wasn't any Chekhov that I knew. This was an anal retentive Chekhov. This was an establishment Chekhov. This is a Chekhov who was saying, no, Irina, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, Pavel, you have always been like this. So correct. And inside the struggle not to be.
Whereas Chekhov would have said, hey, baby, let's go to Eden. You know, let's frolic among the poison apples. Well, of course, they didn't know they were poison.
Ah!
This, to me, was a reflection of what was happening with the show, that care was not being taken at this juncture, that they were just sticking the character into a situation, and rather than writing the dialogue to fit the character, they had the character fit the dialogue. So I felt it was a corruption of what little we knew about Chekhov, and was very contradictory to what I had been trying to establish.
That'll teach Dr. Severin to eat the fruit of paradise. Why is it that we always seem to get into trouble eating fruit? Eve really shouldn't have eaten that apple, but if she hadn't, would we still be living in some ignorantly blissful naked state? Would we be devoid of knowledge and lacking shame? It would seem that the concept of paradise always involves a compromise. Maybe Snow White was the one who got off easy. All she did after eating her apple was take a long nap. It seems that Dr. Severin was one of those people who just can't win.